right, Captains, good evening. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Firstly, let me apologize for the last couple days. I've been communicating via Discord and even in the community tab that we weren't feeling so well. I think it was something that we ate there on Saturday, but also now my mommy Triz is not feeling well, so definitely linked. But we're feeling a little better, not 100%, but a lot better in the last couple of days, let me tell you. But thank you, Captains, for the well wishes. I appreciate it. I really do. Miss you all. Miss you guys. So before we get in the stream, do us a favor again. If you haven't already, hit that like button to help, of course, the stream while we're on, but also to help the VOD when this is done. So what I want to do tonight, obviously, is catch up with you guys, but also while we're doing our daily, I just kind of want to listen to the 10 forward. I wasn't actually able to listen to it. I usually am able to, but I wasn't able to earlier, so I just kind of want to play it in the background. Maybe drop a couple ECs, because we're not going to be on for long. Again, I'm not 100% yet, but I wanted to just at least kind of hear it firsthand with you guys. And you guys might have already heard it, but we'll be dropping a video tomorrow morning of the updates that we have missed here the last couple days. So, but yeah, that's what our plan is whilst we do our paperwork, nightly, dailies, whatever. So let's see what's here. Antar, how's it going? Getting trizzy with it, yeah. Something was trizzy, that's for sure. Documents, how are you?
Admiral, if you will come with me.
Yeah, about Space Boy, how are you?
Admiral, if you will come with me.
Better, definitely. Dwayne, yes, thank you.
Captain on the bridge.
Lindt chocolate. They're really rich, that Lindt chocolate. Oh my god, I've missed you. Daddy Triz? Mr. Crispers, how are you?
Admiral, if you will come with me.
I'm sorry I didn't reach out myself personally. Oh, well, I hope you're feeling better. Don't need to apologize, just gotta get through things whenever. Try and get some, well, I tries. You don't have to apologize. Triz, we're sick. Yeah, no, it seems like I got sick a couple weeks ago and whatever, but the age is getting me, I'm not gonna lie. It's rough. There was some screaming. Congestion. Feel better. All it's like this. Yeah, haven't heard either. Lazy and just watch Spencer's coverage. Hey, that's all good. David, glad to hear them better and hope Mama. Yeah, no, she tonight. Apparently, she started vomiting. Today? It was today, or was it yesterday? Yeah, she wasn't feeling hot, so it definitely all linked to that. It was Saturday, was my daughter's birthday, and we went for a Korean barbecue, and yeah, it was good, but I think there was something that I didn't either cook all the way through or something, and I don't really like those kind of places, to be honest, but it is what it is. Just glad I'm alive. But yes, thank you, David. How are you?
Captain on the bridge.
Rudy.
Admiral, if you will come with
Congestion. Okay. Yeah, I ate something bad there, so I think I wasn't 100% there. So yeah, Caps. What we'll do is we'll get in game here. Just gonna quickly go. Let me know who. So what I'll do is no paperwork tonight. I'm not in the mood for it right now, but we're gonna do our dailies. We'll do some pews. I'm gonna go park in New Romulus, so if anyone wants to join us there, I can just pick you while we're listening and pewsing at the same time. Like I said, we'll have a discussion here, or I'll drop my thoughts at least on the stream that they had. So let's go here first. And I'll just pick randomly, try to get everyone in as best as I can. Or, kind of X up probably in the chat. But yeah, once we get there, we'll start playing it. I forgot to mention peppermint candy helps with nausea. Oh, really? I guess that kind of makes sense. Like when I eat hulls, there's like that temporary relief, But we'll park here, and then after this, I'll obviously switch tunes and then go to Trizzy. Trizzy. I'm even now saying Trizzy. Thanks, Mr. Crispers. Yeah, no, wasn't good. I was talking to some Mandas on Discord, and that it's been a while since I've gone through something like this. And this might not be the permanent spot, but I'll find you guys again when I switch. Yes, yeah, no, ginger ale, toast, a lot of toast. I felt pretty weak yesterday. Or was it the day before? Something. But okay, we'll start the playback now. I'm not going to put it on screen, but I mean, it's just their faces. Do you guys want to see it? I mean, it doesn't really. Lots of vodka? No, we don't. I don't think we need to see it. Oh wait, no, they did show something. So hold on. No, we'll just play it, and then when I see that they are showing the slides, because I did kind of reach up to that point, but there was one of the earlier questions were answered before that whole presentation. That's kind of where I stopped. So black licorice. Oh, black licorice. Whoa. Oh. Right, let's put this on here.
Yeah, cool. So I wanted to start with Phil. So
right off the bat,
gone through a bunch of changes over the last couple of years. We started when I first started working here, being a company under Perfect World. Then we were under Embracer for a tiny bit of time, and then Gearbox, and now Cryptic is going to be transitioning to being under Deca, which is a brand new company for us. Can you talk a little bit about what that change means and what it means for Cryptic and for our games?
That's a very big question. So I guess I'll take a step back. Anytime there's a change in kind of the corporate ownership, or in the more recent case, the changing of an operating group within Embracer, there's always some subtle differences that happen within the studio. Everything, I'll get into a little bit of the sausage making, but little things like how we make our budgets, to who we get certain things approved by. One of the things that really hasn't changed in each of these transitions, though, is the core of what makes Champions, Neverwinter, and Star Trek as good as they are. And in all these moves, our team at Cryptic has done a tremendous job, even while all this other distracting stuff has come and bothered them along the way. They've done a great job at providing great content for our players against our roadmaps through all these transitions. So they're interesting to go through. And in the case of the Deca Games transition, I know the team over there is incredibly excited about joining the fray with us. They've been doing a lot of staffing up, and so far they've been a real pleasure to work with.
That's good to hear about the staffing up, and we kind of heard
going into
some stuff about
detail,
that before.
What is the relationship between Deca
okay,
and
no problem,
like
Spaceboy.
Forward?
You see with my girlfriend, nice.
So when you're within a large company, there's usually there's a governance structure that exists, everything from setting the budgets to helping us with keeping our games live, giving us feedback, things along those lines. As we're moving into Deca, we're getting to know their leadership team. They're doing a bunch of staffing up. I think the biggest change is in the short term is that they're hiring a lot of people. They're hiring a lot of people that have great expertise in running games as a service. They have a lot of expertise in all things Star Trek or D&D, and they're joining our teams along the way as we're getting them trained up in our technology, in our roadmaps. So I think in the very short term, what players should expect is just more people involved. I know Jared and Brett here on the call, they're probably growing tired of this, but almost on a daily basis, we have calls with Team Deca in design, art, engineering, teaching them about our ways, what we've done to make these games so special, what we think our community wants to see out of these games in the long term. And so I think in the coming weeks and months, you'll continue to see more of that, where more and more people from DECA will get online, start to take over the creation of some of the content of the games, and we look forward to seeing them get up to speed.
So you'd say they're coming in kind of as filling in some gaps and like backup for the cryptic teams?
I think it goes a little beyond just filling in gaps. These games have been alive for a long time, over a decade in 2 of the cases. And we're at a point in the life cycle where we need to make sure that we're continuing to run a good business behind Champ, Star Trek, and Neverwinter. And we got to look at things like cost, and which isn't really a fun thing to talk about when you're thinking about games and playing these games. But DECA has staff all over the world. Quite literally on not every continent, but
now there's a key statement there: cost, and we know that. Right? Without money coming in, they're not going to keep adding content, right? They have to, and I'm glad that Phil is not shying away from that, and for the most part, being transparent is gonna go a long way, I think, when it comes to the future of Stowe. Just because the more honest they are, the better a lot of people will feel, and kind of let's just say it, will be comfortable in spending the money, right? So
on those continents.
The Antarctica DECA staff.
Yeah, there's nobody down there just yet. But they have people all over the world that can contribute, and I think in the short term, you will likely see an expansion of the overall size of the teams.
Oh,
in
nice!
The long term,
Congratulations!
I do think there's going to be a world where Cryptic starts to take more of a support function of the game, while a lot of the work is happening within DECA, and then we'll have to see what happens in the long term. But
Now that's interesting. Leading up to that statement right there, it was sounding like even though Ambassador Kale kind of said, so they're gonna support us. No, we're gonna support them. So there's a huge change that's going to happen, and it's literally sounds like everything is going to DECA. With the staffing up, if DECA is what it's supposed to be, then it's a good thing, right? It should be something that will help Stowe long term. And people like, I don't know, will they keep Ambassador Kale in his role? Probably not. But very
right now
interesting.
we're trying to get them fully capable of being developers in these games in our technology, which is no small undertaking. Typically, I guess I'll go a little bit of a sidetrack here. We see this anytime we hire somebody within Cryptic. You hire a designer onto Star Trek. I'm sure Jared can attest to this. It typically takes, and I'm generalizing here, but it typically takes about a year before any individual is 100% capable in the game. And when I say that, I mean, a producer or a design lead could hand that person a piece of work and know they can finish it soup to nuts. They can actually, do all the planning for the feature. They can implement it. They can guide QA through the test and see that feature live. The Cryptic tech is, it's a mature technology that's existed for over 20 years. We've got a lot of functionality under the hood, and it takes a while for people to actually fully grasp not only how the editors work, but how all the features touch each other and why they're important, why they matter to our business. And we think it's going to take decades of time to get that to that same level of knowledge.
Cool. I'm assuming right now we don't really have any idea of a timeline on how these things are going to take. They're just going to take as long as they're going to take.
I mean, there is a timeline. I'll say we started the discussions with DECA, I want to say it was back in November of 2023. So we're 4 months into the transition process right now.
Wow.
The ambition at the beginning was that the rough transition would take place over the course of a year, and so that'll put you into this fall, maybe early winter, when things have effectively transitioned. But obviously, we need to get the people hired. We have to get them trained, and I think the reality of the transition will further inform the timeline that we're working under.
And then mac and ketchup, which I don't know if that sounds delicious or disgusting. I'll have to figure it out later. Asked in chat. The
I
big
reached this
question,
part.
that I know we wanted to tackle today. Are Cryptic or Deca planning on sunsetting any of the games, Champions,
Here we
Star
go.
Trek, or Neverwinter, at any point in the future?
That's a fantastic question. I'm glad somebody asked it. Did you say mac and ketchup?
Mac and ketchup.
So
Now he
funny
says,
enough.
"Come eat me."
Yeah, funny enough. So my wife thinks I'm crazy because whenever she makes mac and cheese, I like to mix it with barbecue sauce. And so mac and ketchup,
Oh,
I've actually
what?
never tried that combo before, but mixing mac and another condiment, in my case barbecue sauce, has been something that I don't know why, but I really enjoy that flavor combo. Anyways,
That might be worth it.
yeah. So are the 3 games going to get sunset? No.
Good.
I want to make sure it's equivocally understood that the plan as of right now is to continue supporting all 3 games. So I'm talking about Champions Online, I'm talking about Star Trek Online, and Neverwinter for many years to come. We have licenses with Paramount and WotC for those games specific that last several more years. And so while the transition may see some...
See, that's an important piece of information that I'm glad. Like it never really. I don't think we never really heard how long, Cryptic had the IP license to Star Trek. I mean, they're always going to have it, obviously, Star Trek Online. But to hear that they have something currently that they would have to fulfill. Now, again, they're saying that they have no plans. There is no plans. Having said that, that could change. 100%, I think that can change, because what's going to dictate that, obviously, is money flow. If by some weird twist of fate, no money came into Stowe, Neverwinter, Champions, whatever, yeah, what are they going to do? They're going to sunset it. So I think it's important to really keep that in mind still. But having said that, that is an excellent piece of news, Oh yeah, I don't. Again, after we did that podcast about them telling me what Deca is, I felt a lot better, and it sounds like that is indeed the plan: is to not only change hands with Stowe, but have it fully in the hands of new people. That in itself is a challenge, I feel, because if they're 4 months in the transition right now, of trying to get everyone on board or whatever, it's gonna take a little bit more time, right? But if they're gonna have more people there to actually support Stowe, then we might see a lot of the things that we wanted to see. Bug fixes, more content possibly. But yeah, there's gonna be a little bit of a stormy period, But
A Delon warbird is escaping.
change in terms of who's working on the games, who's supporting the features, in some cases who's talking to the community, who's really running the ship. The intent here is to keep these games running for a long time. That's specifically why this change is being implemented.
Intent.
And so if there is any fear or concern right now that this is a signal that we're looking at sunsetting these games, I wouldn't look at it that way. That is definitely not the plan.
In fact, under the reason that, as Phil said, the reason that these games are all moved to Deca us is because we want to keep them going for as long as humanly possible.
Absolutely. I think this is public information, but For anybody that likes to nerd out and watch investor calls, Embracer does a quarterly investor call where they talk about, its financial
about money.
prospects and how things have been trending.
Always about money.
Star Trek Online in particular is called out
fashion
every
dreadnought
single
is
quarter
escaping.
because it is one of the top performing, just from a top line revenue perspective, titles in its back catalog. So
That's good to hear.
if I'm
That is
putting
good
on
to
my
hear.
business hat for a second, sunsetting a game that still has gas in the tank just doesn't make a ton of business sense.
Nope.
And those discussions aren't happening right now. So yeah, we have every intent to try to maximize the length of these games. We have a dedicated community behind all three of them, and we want to continue to provide great content to all three of those audiences as long as we can.
All right. Well, the next thing we're going to move on to is both Brett and Jared have tried in the spirit of showing you, that the games are not being closed down and that we have.
Them saying that Stowe is like the money bags of the three games, it's no surprise to me really, but I don't play the other genres like fantasy and or like superhero games, because Star Trek is such a huge IP. Again, maybe not as big as Star Wars, but and it makes sense to have something still making money and just all of a sudden, out of nowhere, cut it. No, that does not make sense. Hey Sam, how's it going? More ships. It's gonna happen. They've already done it, right? So the transition period will be. No one knows what's gonna happen. Thomas, we hope that he gets retained somehow, but at the end of the day, again, we said before, he's got to do what he's got to do for himself, for his career, for his family, for his loved ones. I hope it still has something to do with Star Trek Online in the future, and that they take care of him. But at the end of the day, again, he's got to go where the money is, right? Now it starts. Yeah. Thank you, Sam. Much better, not 100%, but better than the last couple of days. Play it. Oh, do you? All the people saying at the verge of going. Well, I think it's natural to kind of think that way, to kind of brace oneself, because for a period of time, Sam, like what we said, we didn't know, right? There was legit no reason to believe otherwise. With the changes, and again, I said earlier, it could still happen, right? It sounds like that's not the intent, which is good. If that's not the intent, that's good to hear. You see you in your house. Hope you. Oh, well, thank you, Mark. How are you, sir? Yeah, we're just listening to the podcast and just dropping the ECs as we go along here. But we were just saying that news of them saying, the intent is to support, the intent is to keep going. Stowe is the money bags. It wouldn't make sense to sunset. That's all very positive things.
I am quite impressed with your fleet. The Tholians are abandoning their bases.
GG. Let's go get some competitive, because this guy's gonna build up some. Mark's here. Money is overrated. Happiness matters. It does, but without money, you can't really pay with hugs and kisses. You know what I mean? Two consoles. Oh yeah, 100% Space Boy. FC, how's it going? I'm sorry.
Admiral, if you will come
Please,
with me.
Jimmy, I need. Thank you for stopping by, FC. Yeah, we're listening right now to the 10 forward and kind of soaking all in what they had mentioned, and it's been great information so far. So as we fuse, we're just gonna continue on fusing, but mostly listen to kind of what they had to say in 10 forward. Hopefully that. No, it's fruit. No, but she seems fine. My kid, but my mom is the one. It seems like now she was throwing up there either yesterday or today now. It's much more than base. Oh, really? And pay with hugs and kisses. I mean, hey, hugs and kisses are free, but again, you can't buy milk and cheese with them, right? I don't know why I said milk and cheese. That's all I had. That's all I had.
A lot of gas left in the tank, is going to be showing you off a little PowerPoint presentation here, the height of it and presentations. But I had a question I wanted to answer really quick here. Stu1701.
Yeah, she
Deca
wasn't looking
planning
so
on
hot
maintaining
there
relationships,
earlier.
with both Paramount and with alumni actors from Star Trek. We're in the process of teaching them how to do that right now.
Yeah, that's good.
So cool. All right. So let us dive into this lovely presentation. Gentlemen, let me share a screen with you so you can
Hold
see
on. What we're going to do is transition to a bigger screen here.
It's a fancy slide.
So fancy.
I'm just going to put this up.
All right. So you all are seeing the usual window thing.
Yep.
They're seeing
Yep,
the full
yep.
screen version. Just so you know. All right. So let's start here with this transition overview.
Yeah, so I kind of covered this in some of my prior comments, but I'll state some of it again. And I guess a little bit of a rewind to a few weeks back. I was laying in bed one night.
Hopefully, Sam, that'd be nice.
And I cracked open
Pay to win them
Reddit,
so.
and I
Maybe
was just
because
browsing
the actual
people's Star Trek
genre.
forums. I didn't tell Mike I was doing this, so he I got a message from him the next
This
morning
was
saying,
okay.
"Oh my God,
when I
what are you
heard
doing?"
this,
But,
this is where I kind of
I was checking out the forums and I noticed that there was this.
When I heard him talk about this, is one of the last things I heard about before I had to turn it off. I don't know why he had to check in with Ambassador Kale that he had to, but I think it was a good move. I think we can all agree that that was a very good move, that he actually did go on the forums. That video that we did along with others like Spencer did and such, it was a good reception in terms of, I don't know, sorry Joy, I'm not sure where you are, assuring us then, right? And that was what, 3 weeks ago now? So
a bit of a theme, not in all the different posts, but in several of them, where people were they wanted more information on what this whole DECA process meant to the games that you all love and enjoy. And so, I didn't have a verified account there or anything, so I just started posting and answering some questions on there. And the next day, I made a more official-looking post where I made, I was trying to make two major points. So one, a point that I've already made today, we're not intending to sunset these games, and so the intent with all this process is to make sure they can last for as long as possible, so we can continue to run a good business behind all three of the games. The second point is actually on this slide here. The plan as of right now, and again, this is always subject to change. I'll put an asterisk on this one, just because there's still a lot of training that has to happen. There's a lot of knowledge that has to be developed over by our friends at DECA. But our intent right now is to maintain, or what I would call, I think in my post, provide a steady state in terms of content, cadence, content mix. And so what we're trying to do right now with our friends over at DECA is help them understand, the types of content that we think our community really enjoys, the types of content that we think maybe the community doesn't enjoy. So that they can basically get up to speed and learn how to develop the content that matters most first. And as it says here, we want to continue with Star Trek episodes. We want to continue with Neverwinter modules and Champions updates throughout the year. We're still looking at several releases per year across each of these games, in addition to the support we provide almost on a weekly basis in terms of server maintenance and bug fixing. And think about the size of the releases today in terms of the amount of content, the amount of individual pieces and parts. That's about what we're trying to continue to do as well. Of course, all this could be influenced by what's happening in the business, but our intent is to provide the same basic type of roadmap.
Ooh, yes, please send me. I've seen.
Right now, through the transition, and even after the transition. Secondarily, we are actively working with DECA to onboard them into our tech and our products, as it says on the slide here. This process is, you'd like to think, I know I would have liked to think back in November that it's a pretty straightforward process.
And
But we
then
have,
Ravage, how's it
I've seen
going?
a couple of comments in the Twitch chat already. We have a real issue with time zones. A lot of them are in Eastern Europe, and booking meetings with them that don't happen after 9 p.m. their time means we have to do a lot of our training in the morning in the West Coast here in California. So that's a real issue. Sometimes there can be a little bit of a language barrier. There's a real technology barrier where a lot of our code and art, our source assets are based here in California. And anytime somebody over there wants to get latest in our tools, it can take them quite some time if they haven't got latest in a while. And so we're working through all those things, and we're learning in real time as we go through this process. But this transition is requiring quite a bit of coordination between the two groups to make sure we can satisfy that first bullet point, which is a content cadence and a content mix that is in line with what we think the expectation is from the community.
Cool. All right. Well.
And that's my spiel. I'm gonna check out. I know you told me not to. I'm gonna check out the chat window and see if there's any interesting questions there.
All right, just wait for the end for me, please. I just write them
Yeah,
down.
I won't jump in. I won't interrupt. But I will tell people that are watching. I'm watching the chat window. If I see some interesting questions pop up, I'll definitely write them down and come back to them at the end of my discussion.
Okay. That's good. All right, Jared, your turn, my friend. Thank you. You're welcome. Glad I could help. Right. Yeah, so just wanted to go over kind of what's going on in the immediate future over the next few months. Normally we try to keep all this like close to our chest, but I think, I'm not going to spoil a lot. There's a couple key things that I want. So, March is almost over, but we still have a couple things going out. We have a new Mud Bundle that's going out next week that has 2 very popular ships in there that I think our players will like who buy the Mud Bundle. And then we've also got our anniversary bundle that's going on.
Is closing in on the transport. Destroy it.
So those are 2 really great things that next week. Now April. Now, as most of our players know, April is when we do First Contact Day, so that will be the same this year as it has been in the past, with a brand new reward. And also the ship. We're going to be putting out a new ship in the Infinity Lockbox. Ship from Star Trek Beyond. And then also console.
Star Trek Beyond? Ooh.
That is already out. So May is the ship you want for Beyond. That's all I'll say. Yes. So May's really exciting. I'm excited about this. Is we have a new Iconian event as part of our campaign, our mostly year-long campaign. We haven't done an Iconian one, and there'll be a themed reward around that. And there's going to be a new ship bundle, and so this will be one of the things that I mentioned. So
Freedom, probably.
And I love these older ships, and we haven't had T6 versions of them, so we're going to be doing a Dyson ship T6 bundle.
Oh, Dyson ships.
Which I'm really happy about. I hope
it's been a while since they've been given any thought.
So that'll be going out with the new Iconian event, and then we also have the new season. So. We have it in for end of the month, like the very end of the month. I mean, that could change by a week or 2, but that's full right now. I'll have a little bit more information in the next slide about what's going on in the season. And then in June, because the season it comes out at the end of May,
yeah, same.
June is really mostly where the anniversary event and season will happen. But there'll also be another new Mud Bundle that's going out in June. Probably put some, hope some exciting ships in there, and then the console will get the new season in June. So yeah, that's kind of the overview of what's going on, and then after that, I didn't make a slide for it, but usually if you're a player of Star Trek, our summer event comes out after that, and that is the plan. So those are kind of the next 4-ish months or so of what we plan, and plenty of stuff, just as much as we normally have in the past. Move on to the next slide. All right, so season 32. So we've done quite a bit of these over the years. I don't know if we ever really put the numbers
StarCraft, can't say I have any thoughts on that. I don't know much about it.
Officially, a little while ago, just because everybody was like, if it's a season, why is there only one episode? But you know,
I know.
That's why we stopped.
I don't have.
No, it's fine.
I don't
it's
have
fine.
a name.
It's good. I know.
That's fine.
It's fine.
I know. But I thought it would be nice to see. Hey, we've done 32 of these. Anyway,
Yeah, it's neat.
but we don't have a name for it yet. I think it's coming up soon. It isn't House Reborn. I just like the picture, and probably remove the icon from it next time I use it. But yeah, so for, as I mentioned, PC, it's the tentative release date is May for PC and June for console. We're going to continue the story of the Kings and Queens storyline we started a couple updates back. There'll be a new episode and a new task force operation. I don't want to spoil any of the story, but I will say the task force operation is another TFO where it's like an endless battle, sort of like the arena. So we hadn't done one of those in a long time, so we thought there was an opportunity to do that in the content that we're making. So that should be a fun new TFO to do. We have a new ship added to the Infinity Lockbox. I'm not going to spoil
Of course.
that. And then also our typical season event and good reward for that. And then a new feature that we haven't done before. I also am not going to spoil that because we have to make sure it works first.
Oh.
But we're hoping to have it
Right.
out. That's our goal. And then of course our celebrity is a returning Star Trek alumni, which I think is
Hey, Augie, how's it going?
Yeah, I think they
by the
literally
person
spoiled
who
it themselves. Yep.
What the heck is
But I'm
this?
not going to contribute to it because it's still a secret.
Yep. Keep it
Okay.
secret. Keep it
So-
safe.
Yes.
I wanted to listen to the 10 Forward stream because I didn't get a chance to before service. So, yeah, this is kind of just us or me listening with you guys who want to listen to it, and because I just want to hear it and kind of soak it in. Crap, being nice, there aren't enough playable races currently. He's testing, yeah. I'm always trying to see what could piss him off the next time he comes into the stream.
So so that's what we're doing for the season. So we're all excited. We're all working on that. We've made great progress on it. We're actually good ahead on it. So I'm very hopeful that we'll get it out when we have a plan to go out.
Mark Chief wants to know if you can give a teaser on the new feature. I'm going to change that to, can you say one word about the new
One
feature?
word?
If you can't without spoiling it, then don't
Okay.
worry about it. But if you got one word.
Token.
Okay, great.
Bye.
Love it.
Oh, T68 token, for frick's sake.
No, but yeah, I don't want to because like I said, we have to make it work.
Ooh,
It's
change
true. It's true.
change your character
I'm just-
token? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm following instructions.
I know,
By the way,
I
there's...
know.
Oh, thank you, Dwayne.
Yes.
T6X3, oh
Mighty
my
Morphin,
god,
Black
Augie,
Green,
you
yeah,
don't
no,
need
that's
that.
not-
Oh jeez. No.
Uh,
So yeah, that's everything I wanted to cover. Any more questions you want to throw my way about it, Mike?
I think we'll wait until the end to do questions for everybody.
Okay.
Just keep in mind, folks, we're probably not going to go into super deep questions on individual games here. I'm seeing a lot of like, when will you fix
Change
this
secondary
feature,
special
or when is
token.
this thing being added?
Interesting.
We're not going to cover those in the stream today.
Still
Those are for
getting
individual.
that
10
oh, nice,
and
FC.
Presents, kind of streams. All right, so insert theme song for Neverwinter here.
Okay, for those who play Win, I kind of want to hear it, even though I don't do Neverwinter, but
There we go.
I think it's the Protector's on.
add a hanger bait. I like that sound.
That sounds right.
All right.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Howdy, everybody. This is me, Brett. All right, no, go for it. Hey, so we'll take a quick look at the Neverwinter release calendar. Hopefully, you're all.
I have a
seeing the slides up
sickness.
here on your screen. We came out with our Spelljammer module late last year, and that was module 27 for Neverwinter. We are upcoming on module 28. Some of you may have seen it on our PC preview, and hopefully in the near future, our console beta shards as well. But that is Adventures in Wild Space. It is a continuation. I'll talk a little bit more about M28 specifically. But we have at least one more, possibly multiple modules coming up here also throughout 2024. I'll give up some teasers about module 29, which also does not have a name, and just call it module 29. And you can see from the bottom of the screen there, we have our typical partial list of the events, but it's all our major seasonal events. We did the Masquerade. We're in the middle of Siege of Neverwinter right now. We have April Fowls up and coming. Day of the Dungeon Master is not shown on there, but it is also up and coming. We have our Anniversary, Help It, etc. So all those typical events and everything that you've sort of come to expect from our annual calendar are still occurring. None of that's changing or really going away, and we still have new module releases with tons of great stuff up and coming.
Oh, where's Space Boy?
Go to the next one.
There we go. Yeah, I was hitting it.
All right. So, Module 28, Adventures in Wild Space. There'll be some more formal announcements with things coming soon. But, you know, if you follow any of the content creators from everywhere, you've probably already seen some of this spoiled in their videos and whatnot, since it is available on the PC preview. But there is an April, meaning next month, release date for this module. I can't give the day just yet because marketing gets dibs on that, but it will be obviously very soon. It is the conclusion of our, we'll call it the Xerixian storyline, the sort of Light of Xerixis campaign narrative that we're telling through modules 27 and 28. There'll be some new wild space landing sites. There's Vocat's Arena of Blood, which is sort of like this cool endless battle, entirely new feature.
Ooh, I don't know about
Check out
that.
some of the videos that content creators have done for it, but it's a whole new way
Space
of
Boy.
presenting this content.
I lost you. Were you?
Together,
Did you
and
switch
we have a
characters?
new
I'm
dungeon,
sorry.
the Imperial Citadel, which will sort of bring the conclusion of the Spelljammer story arc together. So it'll be a lot of cool new stuff, and we're super excited. We also have a few, other additional features besides sort of the major tentpole pieces of content. We are changing how mount callers are not changing how they're flying, but changing the costs for how they're flying. It's basically a big reduction. It'll be much easier to get your mount callers up to both legendary and mythic. We have added a new enchantment rank, Celestial, and we have reduced the refinement costs for earlier ranks. So there's an additional rank to grind up to, and the lower ranks also now cost less. So it'll still be a bit of a journey, but we're looking at needing to expand more of our systems. We've wanted to go and add a new rank to things like mounts, companions.
Ooh, mounts.
Enchantments.
Wish we could have more of that here.
And that whole system. So Celestials for the next rank, and you can expect possibly to see further expansions to ranks on our other accesses like
Ooh, the Stargazer.
in the foreseeable future. We also have
I don't think I've ever actually seen the Stargazer before, or me call it. And I like that. That looks so cool.
Ways to earn rewards on your battle pass once you have completed all of the current sort of season of your battle pass. So it'll be a new feature that unravels with module 28. I'm not going to spoil too much. There'll be some more talk about that, but it's basically a way to sort of get rewards for doing all your various battle pass tasks that you're already currently doing once these sort of the fixed ones have expired. But now, a few hints, very, very vague, high-level things, since we are very early in the development of this. But as we wrap Module 28, people are already working on Module 29, the next future distant module. It's slated to come out sometime in 2024. I'm not going to give any dates just yet. I'm not going to give you a name because it doesn't have a name yet. But I will spoil and say that it is a new setting and storyline. It is not another module in Wild Space. It is not.
Oh, sorry, Spaceball. I'll get you next time. Eddie, how's it going?
Back on the Sword Coast. So sort of in the
Lord Adventure Bee, how are you?
And we are actually looking at some guild UX
I can mount you?
so you
no.
can expect a few
Let's
things,
just
especially
say
for
no.
people who help run guilds, strongholds, etc. All those elements. We're getting a few UX ones. We've looked at ways to help make management simpler, and we're trying to do some stuff. No promises, but we're looking at things like trying to simplify guild donations and a couple other elements along those lines. So we're taking our very first crack at it, and again, I make no promises just yet because we are just getting out of pre-production, just getting in production, and what work we can get done will be decided here over the course of the next couple of months. So, and again, that is not everything that is going to be in the module. That is just an initial sort of preview of some of the things. But we do have like the setting and everything picked out. So, and it is again not a Spelljammer module. It is going to be a Forgotten Realms one.
Brett, you have
And
a
Mike,
message
you're
from
cracking
AB and
up.
Teams. You have a message
Oh.
from AB and Teams.
Okay. Gotcha.
Meanwhile,
Tell
we'll
me
move
some
on to the
stuff.
next slide.
All right. I'll read it. No, we're not over-promising anything. All those things, may come and go. But this is just sort of initial plans. There will be other things too. There's some really cool surprises that I'm crossing
there a nice
fingers
doing?
will hope up. There may even be some cool things
We
that happen
don't
between
know.
modules 28
We
and
don't.
29 that we're not spoiling just yet because I don't have a timetable for them and I don't want to commit that. But that's far the future stuff. But let's
All right.
roll on to Champions Online. Since I am
Champions,
also the
baby!
EP of Champions too. Got to cover Champs. Yeah.
Oh, he
Champions,
takes
as you
care
know,
of
does not have a large team, but has a very loyal and dedicated audience. We are still planning on some new content for Champions here in 2024. We have a few new missions planned. They will be released alongside of events. I believe we have one if everything goes correctly. Mike, you can correct me on this one, but I believe we should be getting.
Sounds
one out
like
with
Champions is
Fox.com,
kind of like
which will be launching here in the near
the,
future as we get close to April.
the one on the
Fools.
bottom
We
of
have
the
at least
totem
one other
pole.
one that's planned right now. I won't spoil when that's coming out, but we have at least a couple more missions planned for Champs this year. We have a new April Fool's Day surprise. It's in the works. Again, no promises since Julia is working quite hard at getting all the things done that she needs to for Fox.con and April Fool's Day, etc. But we are going to take this opportunity to announce the March costume contest. As you can see there at the bottom, for fans of Champs, it is to be the Too Cute to Live costume contest. And it is all about making adorable characters for the costume contest. We will have unique titles and sort of the normal costume contest rewards that we do.
Yeah, I
So
feel like
if you
Kale
like
should
Champs, or if you
do
just
that
like
more
to see
often.
people do crazy things with the Champions
Like,
character
I know they did
which
Fleet
they've
Week.
done some
It'd be
absolutely
nice if they
fantastic
could
stuff.
have that
Check out the costume contest, which is coming up. It's usually
sort of
last Friday the
interaction
month, so
more,
not certain offhand. That would be March.
and not just like a one-time thing, you know?
That's
Pronounce
probably
it.
March 29th. Yeah.
Feel no
Yeah,
pain.
there we go.
Thank you,
March 29th.
thank you.
Friday, March 29th will be when the costume contest is. We typically start judging at 3:30, and the stream starts at 4 o'clock if you're watching.
Yeah, even if you're not into.
What's that Pacific time?
Even if you're not a big Champions player, it's always fun to tune into the costume contest streams because the stuff people make is incredible. We've had people combine 2 characters into one. We've had like robots and flowers and
I would win all costume contests.
piles of
We
dirt.
enjoy a new
It's
video
wild.
board ship. Oh, documents.
always
That
great.
thing is
Yeah.
so
That's
fun.
really
It's
it for
hilarious,
Champs, so
especially
passing
when
it back to you,
it's
Mike.
in Wolf
All right,
359.
well, we've got a nice little cryptic logo
It
here.
it
wrote questions here.
keeps
This
its
other slide. Do you
turning
wanna do questions
visual.
now,
It's just
or do you wanna
hilarious.
do
Yes,
the
and
slide?
thank you again, documents. I really do love
that
that
slide is
shit.
hidden.
That to you.
It's hilarious.
What?
That slide is hidden, so don't show that one.
Oh, don't show that
This
last
one
one.
we cut.
Okay, so we're on to questions. Okay.
So
cool.
don't show
Phil,
that
did
one.
you find any questions you wanted to answer while we were chatting about the other games?
I found a whole bunch. Mike, you know how I like to do Q&As at company meetings. Can I just kind of handle it that way?
I love.
I'll throw questions
Let
your way if I
me
see it
let
in
me
chat,
just
but yeah, if
say
you wanna-
that this Bill guy, this new, as serious, like his serious demeanor, has a lot of just sincere truth in it, and I appreciate that. You know, it's not like super monotone, but it's just, hey, you know what? This is what it is. This is what we're planning. This is our intent. I love that sort of vibe from him, not gonna lie.
I pulled a few from chat, and I've tried to. I didn't get through the whole chat screen, but I grabbed a bunch. So I'll try to group them appropriately. First question that I noticed, and I saw this question asked maybe a dozen times by the same individual. Baltic1284, how you doing, Baltic? I think this is a question for Jared. I'm going to put you on the spot. Are there going to be investment into the Romulans and Kardashians,
Ooh.
not the Kardashians on Hulu, in shipwise? Romulans and Kardashians and Gem Hater and such.
Gem Hater? Oh my god,
Hater.
he said Gem Hater?
Yeah. No.
Hadar!
We don't have any plans in the
Bruh.
near future for that. In what?
He said Gem Hater.
Okay. So, Baltic, you were patiently asking that question over and over again. I wanted you to feel seen.
I did
we didn't
respond to
have
him in
any
chat.
information.
Gem
Oh, okay.
Hater.
I didn't see
Yeah,
it.
yeah. There's a bunch of people posting questions about the games. I'm trying to respond to them in chat as much as possible, especially since this stream is supposed to be a little more.
Oh, I'll forgive him. I'll forgive him.
Okay. Question from.
But that was so
This
bad.
one's for you, Mike. From Lenny2620. How you doing, Lenny? Apparently, Lenny was supposed to get some kind of a reward 6 months ago. Never got it. Let's
Okay,
help the guy.
well,
Let's help the guy.
email me. My email's on the screen.
I don't know what reward was, but Lenny, we see you. If you haven't filed a support ticket for that,
See,
please
that's
feel free to reach
awesome.
out, and we'll try to
Oh,
help
shoot.
out what the problem is with it. Obviously, if there's a reward that could have been granted and you haven't received it yet, we would love to help.
See, I love that.
Okay. Duncan Idaho 11. Good to meet you, Mr. or Miss Duncan.
Yeah,
Am I making
Mr. That's one
assumption
of our
there?
moderators. He's also
Okay,
the chief fan art artist for STO.
Great. Is there any ambition within DECA to make new games again? And are we looking at a support role only long term for Cryptic, integrated into DECA for this, and maybe other games they take on? So I think this is fairly somewhat public. We didn't really make an announcement about it, but it's fairly understood based on what people saw on LinkedIn. Cryptic actually had 2 new games in different stages of development in 2023, and prior to Embracer announcing a pretty significant cost-cutting initiative throughout the entirety of their company, we had 2 new games in development. One of them was in production and was set for a release sometime in 2025, and the other one would have released sometime in 2027. I won't talk specifically about what those games were, but we did have plans to develop new games. Now, as part of the cost-cutting initiative that happened at Embracer, which again is part of the reason that this whole DECA transition topic has come up, we did cancel those games. There was a layoff or reduction in force or whatever corp speak you want to put on that. There was a job impacting process that was run as part of canceling those games. And as of right now, we do not have any new games in development at Cryptic. I believe in the last earnings call, Embracer talked about the fact that they're going to have a new process for getting a new game greenlit within the company, and that should be upcoming here pretty soon. But as of right now, we're in wait-and-see mode to see if, 1, there is a new process that gets initiated by the company, and then 2, whether or not Cryptic has space to bring a new game to market using that process. But as of right now, we're not developing. Sorry, I got my question. It's right behind my camera.
I got a couple I can throw you while you're looking.
Sure.
There was one from. Sorry, whoever asked this question, I missed who. Oh, there we go. Ray Haster asked. DECA in the past has been known for continuing games, but not necessarily making new content for them. Can you talk a little bit about their plans for making new content for Neverwinter and STO?
It's funny because that's the next question I have on my list too. Great.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so obviously I'm not a part of DECA, so I can't speak to what is happening behind the scenes within the DECA operating group. But all I can speak to is what the plan is relative to Champs, Neverwinter, and Star Trek. And the plan for those 3 games, as I said before, is that we continue to support them with regular content updates, new seasons, new modules, etc. for each of those games. So whether or not DECA has done that for prior games, I don't know, but I do know that they are staffing up and they have an org chart set up for these games that assume significant development for these titles for some time. So the plan is for DECA to continue supporting these games in the same way that Cryptic has, at least during my tenure at Cryptic, which has been for the last 5 years. Next question I've got here from Mon Tuxia, and I think you already answered this in the window, Mike, but I'm going to answer it here as well. Sure. Where is DECA based? Their corporate headquarters is in Berlin, Germany, but their staff is actually, it's a remote entity.
Or so
they have staff all throughout Europe. They have staff in London. They have staff in Romania. They have staff in Asia. They're pretty much everywhere. I think we actually had somebody from Berlin, or we have somebody from Berlin actually visiting our studio to do some of the onboard training either this week or next week. So they're across the globe, which is really great for them. It allows them to get talent much easier than we can if we just focus in on California, for example. I thought this was a funny comment. I just wanted to call it out. I love snarky, funny comments from Miserable Garbage. I guess that's an appropriate name for this snarky comment. I was at Cryptic Studios once and accidentally got into a restricted area. I went into a room marked server, and it was 2 wires hooked up to an orange.
No, that's a potato.
Well, yeah. Anyways, I just thought that was a funny comment. Obviously, clearly not quite that simple, but sure. If you were in that room...
Also, our servers are not in our offices, so I don't know what you
That's true. We do have some servers in our office, but not the ones that actually host the live games. Those are in another city on the East Coast. Okay. These questions, I'm going to read off a couple of questions, and I'm going to answer them all at once, because they all have a very similar theme. And, Mike, this is a topic that you and I had pre-discussed, as we would only go there if I chose to go there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to...
Hey, it's up to you.
Yeah. So got a question from Looney Welsh. Will any of the current staff transition to DECA? From Stu1701. We know a number of employees have left Cryptic in recent months. How much heads up were given? Turquoise C. 2 questions. Beyond corporate language. I think we're good at that. Are there any DECA staff replacing Cryptic staff? If so, that's not acceptable when your games will fail. Follow-up comment from Turquoise. Are there staff reduction at Cryptic? Or are DECA staff replacing Cryptic staff? Or are Cryptic staff just becoming part of DECA? And another one that was similar from Endeavor. Game On. Sorry, I pasted in my window, kind of weird too. Weird colors. Thomas Maroney, art director, had spearheaded connections and networking with other Star Trek IP licensees, such as IDW, Modifius, and the games Infinite and Resurgence. Will DECA be maintaining those connections for future synergy across the Star Trek brand products? So there's a bunch of other questions that are kind of similar in nature to those. Those are just the first few that I grabbed to remind myself to talk about them. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to give a super concrete answer here, but I'll try to take it into parts. So one, Cryptic, I hope, is very well informed as to what's happening. We meet as a studio, so almost 100 of us get together every single month. We talk about what's happening in our business. We talk about what's happening in our games.
It's annoying. I don't think
And as of recently, what's happening related to the transition. And as many of you have noticed, we've had a number of people that have been on these projects for some
New
time.
Token is an elite captain. I know, Antar.
And that's great.
Red, how's it going?
That is a total normal part of running a studio and running a business. Even before the DECA transition, we would have people leave these products and find other
start
games.
Up or find the Operation Gamma
to
story. It should
tell
be
a
in
little
your
bit of the story
journal,
here,
Jatham.
And the reason
missions,
I think I'm so understanding and supportive of these moves. You know, I was involved in a major franchise at the top of my career. I worked in the sports side of the business, and I worked on one particular game for over a decade. And I really enjoyed my time working on that game for over a decade. But I'll tell you, as a game developer, as somebody that wants to make this a career, sticking on one product day in and day out, 12 months a year for a decade is great if you can find that kind of gig. But at the same time, my advice to game developers is to make sure you're diversifying your skill set, you're diversifying your knowledge, the types of engines you can work in, the types of products you.
Come on, we got a bet going. What's the bet? Let Ted can get Mom to swear.
Is that ad? That's perfect. Well, it looks like we got 3 ads to go through.
I'm gonna get expelled.
We'll just mute that for a bit. That's interesting. He said that because I thought he was gonna actually go to. It's great to work on the same game, but it can be tiring. As much as you love it, it's day in, day out, it's years. But, I thought that was pretty cool. He said that. I did over 1 mil info earlier channel run. Nice, very, very nice. Congrats. Another 3? Is it because I paused the volume?
Not on your life. The spacious and powerful Dodge Durango, not your average SUV.
Just no, Space Boy, thank you. Glad we were able to get some in.
And so the fact that people are taking within Cryptic are taking the information
no problem.
What's happening with DECA, and they're also making this choice to pursue other options. I actually think it's fantastic. I think it's great for them. It's putting them in a position where they're working on a new product that hopefully they're excited about. At the same time, we've got people internally at Cryptic that are stepping up and taking on larger leadership positions on the products, even during the transition. So there's going to be change. We're going to see people come and go. A little bit of a spoiler, you're going to see more people come and go in the coming months. And a lot of that movement is partly due to the fact that we're being so open with what's happening related to this transition. And the other part is, I think it's just, it makes good career sense for people to try to stay ahead of the curve when it comes to their own expertise and knowledge in making games. To get at some of the specific questions about, is Cryptic going to stay involved in the long term? That is still very TBD. I think it will depend in some cases on DECA's ability to ramp up in certain areas, and I think in other cases it will depend
And Terrace, Miranda class? Which one's that one,
where
FC?
servers might be placed. Like we might have infrastructure people in the U.S. that stay technically part of Cryptic
There are 2 active
because we're
warp
here in the
transport
U.S.
conduits in
which
this
is where we
system,
have our servers.
along with a stable spatial rift,
And so it's kind of
which is emitting
TBD. I think it'll be hit and
chronoton
miss if you
There
just
are
look
2
across
active
the org
warp
chart of our
transport-
studio. But I do expect that we'll see, at least in the short term, over the next year, you'll see a blend of Cryptic people and DECA people. What happens 4 years from now?
He doesn't know.
I don't really know.
He doesn't know.
So hopefully that kind of answers that genre of question in a way. I only have a couple more here that I grabbed, and I can jump back in.
I appreciate the honesty. I really do appreciate the honesty, because as much as he would like to obviously reassure us, for us to keep spending money, for those to keep spending money, him being honest is very reassuring, right? Because with being transparent, that is what the higher ups are just telling him, or that's what he can say. But he always adding there, things could be changed. TBD. Who knows, right? And I really do appreciate that. I can't stress that enough, how, you know, and him saying, yeah, people might leave, people might come, might go, might, you know, people have to think about their careers. They have to think about staying ahead of the curve, because he doesn't know. As much as he would probably love to keep everyone in staff, what he said earlier, with everything going to DECA, and it's not DECA supporting Cryptic, it'll be Cryptic supporting DECA when it comes to Stowe, and it'll be that way in a sense until DECA can fully take over. What that takeover will look like, well, we'll see, right? I am bugging Stu while he's doing his live on Twitch night. Send on Discord nights.
I'll let you go at it, Mike.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at him right now, so I'll let you.
So Mike, Mac and ketchup. Yeah, Mac and ketchup. For me, barbecue and Mac. Will it change the time zones? Will we see the main? I think you answered this, Mike, already as well, but I'll do it here. Will it change the time zones? We see the maintenance change. That's not currently planned. Now, what ultimately happens if DECA is able to get the server team or the infrastructure team fully spun up in Europe? Will that change? Maybe. But as of right now, we're not planning on shifting our maintenance windows because the staff that actually does the push, that takes the servers down, patches the games on the servers, they're all still based here in the US, and plans that they're going to be based here in the US. So I would not expect a critical role in how we do things for any of the I'd like to add a little. Mike, is it okay if I add a little bit to that?
If you want, sure.
You're the boss.
Okay, so I'll say this. So like the engine questions come up a lot internally as we work with our publisher, Gearbox San Francisco, who asked them. But I've seen other topics that fall into the same bucket. A couple of questions that cross the way. It's in the same line of thinking. So I will tell you that DECA has started I will tell you it's on like a preliminary list of theirs to look at the feasibility
Ooh.
of doing something like an Unreal port.
Ooh.
Does not mean they're going to do it, but it means at the very least it is a topic they're interested in understanding. And at the end of the day, so if you kind of pull back from specifically with Star Trek or with Neverwinter, it becomes a cost-benefit analysis. Both myself, Jared, and Brett have to do as we're planning out the roadmap. You need to understand, what the cost of making a particular change is. It could be as small as a feature. It could be something as large as an engine change. And you have to compare that against what the potential upside for the business is. We've actually looked at what it would take to update the engine, or to go with a more modern engine, Unreal, Unity, things of the like. And the cost of that kind of a change is easily millions of dollars, if not over $10 million to make a change like that.
$10 million.
Just simply changing the engine doesn't make the game better. You then have to go back in and re-author content so it can. If you want to use a lot of the really great features they have in Unreal now, with geometry being able to build itself basically, or better lighting, you actually have to go in and re-author everything, and that just further adds to the cost. We couldn't come up with a business case where doing that re-authoring would yield us a significant enough return in revenue that it would make it worth it. And so we made the decision at Cryptic not to go down that road and start up an initiative quite that large. Now, DECA might do their own analysis on that and come to a different conclusion. That will be up to them, and I'm sure they will communicate that to you if they decide to go that way when the time is right. But that's kind of what goes into making these types of decisions: is what's it going to cost, what is the potential return on that cost, and if the potential return in this case is a negative, which our analysis was, then it doesn't really make a lot of sense for us to do it. So anyways, that just gives you a little inside baseball. So I got a question from Stu1701.
Stu.
Hello, Stu. Cryptic has done a lot to maintain relationships with the IP holders of Star Trek, as well as alumni from the shows. How is DECA planning to maintain those relationships? So
Phil,
just like everything else we're doing. Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
But just like art, design, one of the introductions that I'm going to be making shortly,
Possibly, Dwayne,
is with their leadership team and the individuals that we interact with over at Parent.
but think about that. 10 million. The cost. I can't remember what Mix2 said when he was doing his one video on how much Stone made in a year. But if 10 million is the bare minimum cost, yeah, that don't make sense. For a fraction of better performance, I don't know if it would be that worth it. Can't pronounce Trek words. I mean, shoot, it's hilarious that he said Gem Hater. That's the best. That's awesome.
Paramount and WotC. There's kind of a business relationship level, which is where we're going to start, and then there's a more practical level, which is when you get into like content approvals and things of the like.
They are getting
So
a new
all of
engine,
those
possibly.
introductions are
No, it's
gonna
not.
start
They're
happening,
looking into the
during the
feasibility.
coming months, shortly after it's GDC week this week, so it'll happen shortly after GDC. Now, obviously, in order for something like a ship in our game, like in Star Trek, using that as an example, to show up in a television show, that kind of thing doesn't just happen overnight. That was born out of years of trust and partnership that we had to develop over that time in order for that to become true. And it will likely take new individuals some time to develop the same level of trust. So I would not expect that
yeah, that's in game FC.
that stuff will be seamless.
I've seen that
but
in
I
game.
do think that DECA is highly capable as an organization, and it will be on them to develop those relationships with the folks over at Star Trek and WotC to continue pushing for initiatives like that.
Okay, so
And that's when
Ragney86 says, I know someone else asked before, but I'd also like to know, so you're looking for high-level business-focused questions. If I were to buy Zen or a Lifetime subscription today, would I have to worry about them going away after the transition over to Deca is complete?
It's a good question.
No, you shouldn't. No.
But that,
the
yeah,
answer
that
is
shouldn't.
If you, so again,
100%.
This was one of the first thread I responded to over on Reddit was really about, like, I don't remember who posted it. I wish I had their handle. Somebody basically made the comment. They say, until we hear more information, I'm not spending any money. And I was like, oh, well, no, until you break the seal, I won't spend any more money. And so I made a very stupid comment where I was like, hey, seal.
Yeah, no, definitely, Andor. That's what I'm
No,
sensing,
the games
hearing,
are gonna
you know.
live on. The games will live on. And so if you enjoy playing Star Trek Champions or Neverwinter, and you want to spend money in the game, continue to do so. If you don't, because you're unsure, then don't. You know, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your cash, but I can tell you
Honesty, I love it.
with absolute certainty that these games aren't going.
Do one more,
They're going
Dwayne.
to continue to live on. We're going to continue to update them. The updates are going to come in the very short term from Cryptic, in the medium term from a collaboration between Cryptic and Deca, and beyond that, we'll have to see. But the games will continue to live on. So if you enjoy them and you want to spend some cash, you know, you don't have to worry about your money going to waste there.
Yeah,
And I guess what the last question I had, just to
Comforting.
bang on my list, and I'll jump back into the chat window here. Toptoshka? Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. Good to meet you, person. Who will contact with player base in Deca? Because right now there's no communication between. So there is a discussion happening between myself. What's your handle, Mike? I call
Ambassador
you Mike.
Cal, but you can just call
Ambassador
me Mike.
Kale. There's a discussion happening between the two of us and the folks over at Deca about when the right time is to introduce their community person who's already on staff to the community of these games. That will likely come here in the next few weeks.
So Mike
Once that introduction
is going.
You know, there will certainly be another space for you to express your concerns, ideas, and other comments about the state of these games to folks over at Deca as well. So expect more information here in the next few weeks. I can't imagine it'll be longer than 3 weeks from now. It might even be sooner than that. Certainly sometime by mid-April, there should be a communication coming straight from Deca and their team, so you can engage with them directly.
All right, I'm going to wrap us
Nice.
up here. I know, Phil, you like to go through till every question is answered on all hands, but that will actually be forever. Yes, they will just keep asking questions. Folks, I want to say thank you to all three of you for joining us for this very important stream. And I also want to say that I'm going to look for somebody to raid right now. But I have
And
to
on that note, my job security. Bye.
Online, so I am going to take this Star Trek coin and this Neverwinter coin. Phil, pick a hand. I'm going to switch them a few times. I just realized I showed you which was in which hand. Sorry. Yeah, Phil, pick a hand.
Hang on, quick comment. I'm going to tell the Neverwinter people that
I don't know
I'll
if
do
they
a
could-
stream in the near future to answer more Neverwinter specific questions.
Yep.
Okay,
That's
I don't
what
know
I'm saying,
if your camera feed is flipped. I'm gonna go with the hand that has a ring on it.
Got it. That is Neverwinter. All right, we're gonna look for a Neverwinter stream. While I am doing that, Phil, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Tell the nice people a joke.
Task Group Alpha, engage the board.
Who?
Group
Tell the
Beta,
chat a
Gamma,
joke.
Tell
Oh, tell it.
Oh, I don't
Tell
have a
Chad a
joke. I'll tell you what.
Melvin here.
This is a new Christmas gift I got.
Was to position Alpha.
My in-laws bought me a
Admiral
Bowser.
Hanson.
There's no joke
Focus
here.
on destroying the key.
Was
For
it
those that are
21?
into Lego, for those that were interested in Lego, it's an incredibly fun build. It's pretty fun itself. Took me about 14 hours to put that thing together, and I enjoyed it.
Reverse. Select a fleet. Attacking the board as orders. No effect. Protect the line pods. Some of them are carrying civilians. You destroyed us.
To change their entire life.
It sounds like that's pretty much it. So that was a very interesting and very informative, probably the most informative stream I've ever heard from them. Like, Kale has been doing streams for however long, and let me be clear. He is, and he said this I think a couple weeks ago. He is being told what to say and what not to say. So it may sound or come across that he doesn't want to interact, or he just sometimes can't. And you know, having Bill there, I think it was kind of eye-opening, because like, you know what, I'm gonna answer this. It's like, oh, you do what you want, you're the boss, you know. So I think that's so refreshing. And again, I've always tried to be fair in the position he's in terms of what he can or cannot do. You know, I absolutely don't blame Kale for everything. It's hard to kind of just blame it on someone who has no real authority to say things that he might want to say, you know. But that was a very good. I think that's like one of the best, most informative 10-4 streams ever. Like, obviously there was ones that have, of course, ships and such like that, but that one definitely had a lot of great information. And it's things is not 100%, you know. Things can change, and I like how Phil kept kind of going there and saying that, you know, which shows his genuine honesty and sincere demeanor towards his job as the CEO. So yeah, I think that was great. Probably take that off screen there. Give me a sec. Oh, did it? Sorry. I knew it. As soon as I saw turned and tide kicking down, I'm like, I'm gonna die before I even, like, literally a second. Literally a freaking second. Sounds like on the way. Sounds like he's on the way out. Yeah, I wouldn't say on the way out, Sam. There's a transition period. I don't think he's going to be outed from Cryptic. It sounds like, you know, he's got a bigger role than just the community manager. So, you know, he'll probably continue on, just maybe not with Star Trek. You know, and it sounds like we're going to find out here within at least a month on who's possibly going to be taking over as a community manager. And again, they're going to be kind of in the same sort of boat, right, that Kale was. There's things that they can and cannot say. Too many people will miss Kale. Of the 3 community managers, there's Brand Flakes, Brand Flakes, which actually, when I first started, there was a period there where me and him were just kind of DMing back and forth, just talking about Trek and stuff like that. Nothing crazy, just hi, how you doing? Saw you log on, blah blah blah. Then there was Laughing Trendy. Kale, again. What bugs me about Kale, and I'm just being honest, it's just his knowledge of ships. Dude, clearly it's an ambassador. He's like, well, I don't know what that ship is. Someone help me out. I'm like, bro, it's an ambassador or an Excelsior. Like, I would understand if it was like a cryptic ship maybe, but to the iconic ships, like, bro. Okay, do I get Mr. Whispers? Well, thank you for the rejoining of the channel. Thank you. Do you get a T6 coupon? Yeah. Well, we are going to be doing a giveaway soon, TM. Thank you. I appreciate that. Not only do you support us on Twitch, but here on YouTube, and it's very appreciated. Ow. Just as soon as I take care of that last one. It was cool, yeah, bro. The freaking Rexes. It is. Steve-O! How's it going?
Admiral, if you will come with me.
Sorry, I know you see that screen there, but we were just, the majority of the stream, we were just listening to the 10 forward, because I missed it, the majority of it. With all those ships attacking it, I love it.
I'll contact the Enterprise.
Do it.
The fight does not go well, Enterprise. We're attempting to withdraw and regroup. Rendezvous with fleet. Hood to command. We have Borg attack teams beaming in. Request immediate assistance.
Roosevelt to Hood. We've taken critical damage. Take our survivors and refugees. We'll take your forward.
A futile maneuver. I will continue aboard this ship to take the zero.
And we're done. Very nice. I have a week left for my Rex. Oh, you'll get it soon. Yeah, Antar, I really do appreciate the openness that he had, you know, and GG Dwayne, thank you so much for those pews. I appreciate you joining me on those. I really do. I missed it, to be honest with you. And like I said, it's a very sincere, you can tell, and being in sales for the majority part of my working life, you know, I've one of the things that you develop just by talking to people, especially if you have if you're outgoing and that is part of your job, is you are able to kind of, it's a tonality which conveys sincerity, and that is kind of what I'm getting from it, you know. Very sincere, straight to the point, no beating around the bush, just facts is facts, here you go. Over the years in my presentations or talking with customers or board members, is I just kind of boil it down to facts, even if it's gonna lose me the sale. But if I'm being truthful, and I'm not gonna get into details of that, but like if they want one thing, but I know it's not what is good for them for security reasons, let's say, I won't sell them that because it's expensive and it's a lot of money, and I tell them the reasons. But you know, there's more often than not, I'm being told, you know, I appreciate your honesty and we may have to think about this again, or whatever, you know, stuff like that. I'm probably not going to be able to officially get the 14th anniversary ship. Oh, just because of time? Your game screen is the bro. Oh, maybe I can change the screen. Well, we'll just leave it. I'm 440. Oh, yes, Max, the game screen now. Alright, sorry. I can take that. I like Mike. Yeah. Again, you know, Ambassador Kale. We had him here on the interview a couple years ago. You know, and he is great. You know, his geekness is there. You know, he's got a geek. Like I said, the only issues I had with him is very superficial, but you know, I was able to relate to him when he said, "Yeah, I'm human. There's just days I don't want to deal with this," you know, and you can't blame him. You really can't blame him in terms of being in that position where you are the face. Has he handled the years that he's a community manager the best? I think he could have done better, but it might have only been in ways of just trying to convey certain things or say certain things or deal with certain situations.
We'll need to find their central computer core. Once we're there, I'll begin the...
Steve-O, how are you? Yeah, oh, well, thank you, Steve, for the super chat. Thank you. Spidey sense always. Answer my questions. Sure. Buy an option for the anniversary ship. It should be there. If the progress, yeah, it should be there still, Jatham. But not a T6. What? He needs a non-bust yardstick, brother. Winter campaign. Yes. With everything, I'm just trying to catch up here. Right, TriZander, can we get a full size screen? Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. He's trying. We get a good roadmap. It was indeed a great roadmap, and I really did appreciate that section where Jonathan, was it Jonathan? Was
enemy life signs ahead. Get ready to fight. Proceed with caution.
Just,
I'm reading numerous
you know, going over what's going on next. I mean, it wasn't a huge surprise of what we're getting in terms of more lockboxes or whatever, or upcoming chip or whatever bundles. You had a mud bundle, yeah, that was going to come for sure. But it was very appreciated. I can't remember the last time they did a roadmap. I feel like it's been like 3, 5, 4 years or such. It's been a while. And it definitely was appreciated. Shannon just took a great fall there. He's dead right away. Holy jeez. Oh, I gotta kill 120 of these. That's a lot. Spencer said he wants a token that unlocks ships for accounts. We'll pay. Ooh, that's a great idea. Not gonna lie. I mean, I said something, and it could be in a form of a token, but I said, let me pay a certain amount to either transfer ships from character to character, or, you know, let me pay a certain amount of Zen to unlock the ship account wide. Something like that. That'd be great. Not gonna lie. What the? Oh. That didn't look right. Did you just nip my aft? Bruh. Call some more attendants. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. It's what I need. Why I'm here. Oh, plasma. Plasma. Ooh, look at them. Look at them attendants. Let's go. Just a smorgasbord of attendants. Call some more. That'd be great. I don't need that much more. And there we go. We're done. See ya. See ya. Ta-da. I forgot what kind of damage. Hold on, do I thought it slows you down? Does it hold on do that? I can't remember. I did put my idea for a refit token in red just a few months back at the ability to change ship sector. See, that would be a really good, definitely a good idea, I think. Or, you know, to pick the primary of a ship you buy before you buy it. Mind you, that'd make all my ships commands, but sure, let's see. Connie Dwayne. I mean, he said he was we were gonna love it, but love that idea, Zen. I mean, it again. That's just a system that they're gonna implement by a token, right? But if you wanted to transfer a ship that you bought or that you got from a lockbox in Infinity, if you didn't want to make an account unlock, okay, fine. Why don't you then just pay a certain amount of Zen to transfer to a character? Let's say 3,000 Zen, okay, cost of a ship. Then if you want to use it on a different character, a side character, whatever, transfer to that, you know, character for that 3,000. I think they'd make more money off of that, you know. Equal ships power levels. Now there you go. By the ship's popular. I don't know. I mean, there's no sort of Muds bundle that has really made me want to buy it, other than very close was the Kelvin timeline one, but I've already had the ship that I want from it, so it's like, meh. His Afdog warship is not bad. Could be. That's a great ship still. Spud, how you doing? Subsystems, nice. There you go. Yeah. Wasn't sure. I don't use Polar. I mean, I do use Polaron on my gem, but that's the bare minimum Polaron. My caps, I'm gonna call it here. I'm not fading or anything, but again, not 100%. Just the stomach had actually settled a lot there around noontime. I felt a lot better. I was able to get some more food in me. So, but I appreciate you guys stopping by as always. Mr. Christopher, thank you for rejoining here. Steve-O for the super chat. I appreciate it. We should be back tomorrow on Twitch. I got no volleyball tomorrow. We weren't able to get a gym, but we do have one Thursday, 8 to 10, and I'll be debating whether I do the stream before or after. Within the next couple of days, I want to stream Kakarot, because I kept mentioning that I have a save file that has over 300 hours in it. and I've got my power level or my key over 9,000. And I did those legendary battles where I was kind of struggling with that new save file, that a fresh level 300 Goku. This save file is ridiculous. I wanted to finish all that, showing you guys how ridiculously overpowered I made that save save file. But that's my plan. I'm still sort of, I don't want to say the word mourning over the loss of Akira Toriyama, but I've come to realize over the last, since his passing, Star Trek has been more of an influence on me, but Dragon Ball has also had a major influence on me. So I want to play Kakarot just for that sake. So I just gotta figure out again how to do that, because that's on a different profile. But again, thank you, Caps, for thank you, Red, Jatham, Stevo, everyone for stopping. It's been, a very sort of surreal kind of moments here in time. Not just Akira's passing, but just the last 5 years, how many people we've lost. Star Trek, obviously, actors, and now Akira. Just the things that we grew up with. But their idea obviously will keep going, right? Dragon Ball will keep going on. Star Trek will keep going on regardless. Gene has passed away for however many years, and Star Trek keeps going on, right? So, Beatrice, thank you, Beatrice. Please advise community when you return to Console Bridge. Yes, definitely, Mark. I'll probably be next week. That's what we're aiming for. So, before we go, captains, again, thank you for watching. That's 10 Forward with me. Do us a favor before we go. Hit that like button to help this as a VOD. That'd be much appreciated. With age comes memories and never be tarnished. Yeah. No, you're right. And I do mean this from my bottom of my truest heart. I love you all. I appreciate you all. We'll leave it on this note.
Live long and prosper.